Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. I'm going to be honest, this episode seemed like a giant waste of time in so many ways. In so many ways, it just really seemed like that. Finn and Steffi didn't really do anything except for talk about Thomas and what Thomas is doing with Sheila. And Finn was giving the excuse of maybe Thomas was being, protective towards his family and kind of backing off Sheila. Maybe that's why they were in the alley, in a back alley, hanging out with Sheila. Okay, sure. Um, so he tries to give an alternative for an alternative explanation of why they were beasting at their meeting. And then they just sat there, and I felt like it was just a giant waste of time of them reminiscing about, you know, his proposal and then, the birth of their daughter. It just seemed like it came out of nowhere. Like it literally just went left and it just kind of stayed that way. Don't get me wrong, it's nice and that they're reminiscing about the birth of your child and, him proposing, but what did that have to do with anything? Y'all were talking about Sheila and Thomas, and then you just switched and just like why? I feel like that was just there to run down the clock. Um, Sheila calls Thomas to sit there and say the exact same thing that she's been saying since day one, since he found out. Keep your damn mouth shut. Um, and Thomas was like, hey, listen, I can't talk about that right now. So when Ridge and Carter get in there, Rich is like, "What's good? What's going on? You got that look like you upset. Like, somebody giving you problems? Like, what's going on?" And of course, Thomas doesn't really say anything. He he is super cryptic in some of the stuff that he's sitting there saying. And Rich is like, "Well, I'm pretty sure you got a good explanation. Whatever it is, it is, and you'll sit there and let me know." And then Thomas gets even more cryptic by saying, "Hey, listen, I just want you and your mom, my mom, to be happy, and I'm just here to support y'all in any way I can, and I'll do whatever I can to make sure you guys are happy." And I'm like, what does that mean? Rich, you should be asking him, what does that mean? You're not asking him, what does that? Okay, okay. You know, Carter going into work on a Monday morning or whatever day or time it is, means that Grace didn't say anything yet. And I'm still waiting for that to happen. Because somehow that actually makes sense to that woman. Um, Eric comes over to give emotional support to Brooke. And Brooke is sitting there thinking about her dream with all the men that she had in her life. And I want to just sit there and say, so let me get this straight. You celebrated 35 years of you being on air by talking about Brooke and her love life, not anything else. You just said, this is how we're going to celebrate 35 years being on air, of surpassing stuff like Guiding Light and As the World Turns and All My Children and More Like to Live and probably and Passions and probably some other stuff that I might have missed. But my point is, this is how you choose to celebrate 35 years by focusing on Brooke Logan. Now, I understand that Brooke was there for a long time. Okay, I don't know if she was there from day one, but she was there for a long time, if not day one. I don't know. I get that she was on there for a long time, but 35 years and you just singled it out to her. I feel like in some way that makes me upset, even though I've been watching the show that long. I can only imagine the people that have been watching the show. For them to sit there and be like, man, 35 years, I wonder how they're going to sit there and do this special. Then they watch it, it's like it's Brooke. Still Brooke. This is going to be a Brooke episode, isn't it? Okay. All right. Zarek is there to support Brooke. Brooke is there talking about how she made a mistake, and they talk about how she's not drinking anymore. She's taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, and she still loves Rich. And there was one point where it's like, Eric was like, oh, he still loves you. And Brooke was like, have you talked to him? Is this high school now? Is this what we're doing? Uh, didn't really go anywhere. Didn't really go anywhere. Steffi confronts Sheila, and she pretty much was like, yo, listen, I don't know what you're doing, my brother, but it stops now. You're not going to be part of our lives. You're not going to be part of my mom's life. I want nothing to do with you. And this is, whatever this is, it's not going to happen. Point blank. Um, so what is Sheila going to do now? Now, of course, there's a bunch of rumors. Basically, Snitch saying that Sheila's going to do something to Steffi to kind of get rid of her, to put her on ice for a little bit because, Steffi's going to be going on maternity leave. So, whatever's going to happen is probably going to happen in the next couple of days. And so, if you see Steffi missing and Sheila probably had a hand in it, you know why. Now, I honestly think that's a good idea. This way, it gives her off her feet, and she can just concentrate on what she needs to concentrate on, and not be on the show. And I sit there and think about that. I think about General Hospital. I think about the actress that played Lulu, that was on the show while she was pregnant, and everyone can clearly see that she was pregnant, even though her character wasn't pregnant. For some odd reason, they stopped doing all the camera tricks and everything like that. They just said, "Oh, screw it," and just let her be on the show because that made sense for some odd reason. I guess they didn't want to get another lawsuit. Yeah, the actress that played, and I know I'm kind of going on a tangent. The actress that played Reese, I think that's what her name, FBI agent that fell for Sonny. In real life, she wound up getting pregnant, and she wound up suing GH, saying that she got fired because she got killed, or she got fired because she got pregnant. I don't know if she won or lost the lawsuit, but GH was like, we're not going to do that. So at least in this show, they're probably going to have her step down for a little bit, and we'll see her back when she comes back, and that'll be that. Just not to try and think about what else happened in this episode, and it wasn't really a whole lot. You know what? As much as I'm sitting there giving this show kind of crap about, like I'm giving the show a little bit of crap or hell, it was still better than Days of Our Lives. Still better than this episode, Days of Our Lives, because man, that was a terrible episode. Let me just double check my notes. Nope, I think that's pretty much about it. So this episode was a waste. It was a waste. I was gonna say something, but I was like, you know what? I already said it in GH when I felt like it probably wasn't necessary, so I'm not gonna sit there and say it here. But if you watch my first video today, you know exactly what I'm sitting there talking about. So with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.